Hi, this is Rena from Quilt Israel, and we're here today with the next block in our quilt along. And this block is called Around the World. We're using Drunkard's Path to make curved piecing. I'm going to show a couple new methods using glue as well as a stapler. So I also have a template which you can download from my website. The link will be in the description box below. Well, I hope you enjoy. Here we are getting ready to work on our Drunkard's Path. We can use plastic templates or we can use paper templates from the download that I created. There'll be a link in the description box below with the free download. The fabric requirements are a bit different if you're using the printouts or if you're using the plastic templates. The fabric requirements for the plastic templates are 12 3.5-inch squares from the background fabric, 4 3.5-inch squares from the yellow fabric, and for both the green and the pink fabrics, we'll need 8 3-inch squares. For the downloadable template, you'll need 1 4-inch by 32-inch strip, 1 4-inch by 8-inch strip for the background fabric, 1 4-inch by 8-inch strip of the yellow fabric, and 2 3.5 by 14-inch strips for both the green and the pink fabrics. In this video, I'll show how to cut the fabrics using both methods. The Marty Mitchell Perfect Patchwork templates for Drunkard's Path come with 4 different templates to choose from. Depending on the size that you use, that determines the size of the final block. We'll be working with the B and C templates. The others can be put away for another time. If you're using the printout, make sure to set the print scale to 100%. To test, there's a 1-inch square on the printout. Make sure to measure that square with a ruler to make sure it was printed out correctly. I'm going to put the fabric that I cut for the plastic templates to the side, and I'm going to start with the printed templates. We need 12 pieces from the background fabric. I've printed the pattern out twice and cut them out. I'll take my 32-inch by 4-inch fabric strip and I'll fold it over twice to make 4 layers. I can now place the template on the fabric and staple it down. The staples work like pins. Since quilting cotton is a woven fabric, it will just go through the fabric without damaging it. Now I'll add the second template on and staple that on as well. If you'd rather use pins, go for it. This method works best for me. I can now cut the fabric without worrying that anything's going to move on me. I'll start by cutting it out with a scissor. Here I'm cutting through 4 layers of fabric, but you can do fewer layers if you like. If you feel more comfortable with the rotary cutter, go for it. You can use a ruler with the rotary cutter for the straight edge. Now I take the staples out and I have 4 beautifully cut pieces. Now for the plastic templates. For the background fabric, we'll take the 3.5-inch squares and use template B, or the smaller of the 2 templates, to cut out the part that we don't want. As you can see here, it matches perfectly with the other pieces that we cut out. The background pieces are now done and it's time to move on to the semicircles. Fold the fabric in fourths. Staple the paper template in place. I'll use a ruler to cut out the straight sides and carefully cut around the curve. Remove the staples and your pieces are ready to go. For the plastic templates, use template C or the larger template and cut around the curve. I'm going to cut all the pinks and greens that way. All my pieces are cut and it's time to put them together. We need 4 green semicircles to match with the yellow background. Everything else goes with the white background. I'm going to set them aside. There are 2 ways I like to pair pieces. I use pins or glue. Glue is my favorite, but I'll show you how to do both. The first thing that I do is I fold the pieces in half and give them a pinch to mark their center points. I do this both for the background fabric and the semicircle. With the background piece on top, match the two folds and pin them together in the center. Then match up a corner and pin it. Place a pin in the middle of those two pins. You can give the fabric a bit of a tug, but be careful not to stretch it out of shape. We're working with bias edges and we don't want to distort the fabric. Then pin in the middle of those two pins. Then pin in between those pins. The more pins that you use, the less chance for fabric pleating. Now do the same exact thing on the other side. When I sew, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from the edge of the curve. I'm going to feed it through in a rotating manner. That's one away. It uses a ton of pins. Now it's time for the gluing method. I sew the same way, pinching the fabric to find the center of each piece. I like to use stick-based glue, but you can also use liquid glue like Roxanne's Glue Based. I apply the glue on the edge of the semicircle. I match the centers. Match the ends, and then I match the rest, playing with it until the glue area lies flat. You'll need to give a light tug to get it where you want to be. Do the same thing on the other side of the piece. I'm going to continue glue basting, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I have all my pieces here at the sewing machine either pinned or glued together, and now I'm going to sew it. I'm going to get started by first sewing the one with all the pins. And as I get to each pin, I'm going to remove it. I'm rotating it. I'm giving a little push to rotate it as I go. See, here I'm getting a little bit of a pleat, so I will raise my presser foot and smooth it out a bit, keeping my needle in the down position, and then I'm just going to keep on going. Remove my pin when I get to it. I can raise my foot just to pull it back so it's out of the way. And here we are. And I will just press it back. I'm going to continue. I have all my pieces sewn, and now it's time to cut them apart and take them to the ironing board. So to iron the pieces, to press them open, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the inside, and I'm just going to push it out. Gently push it out, and just give it a final press so that it comes out nice and flat. I'm pressing to wherever the background is because that's just a natural way that it goes. And I will just continue pressing these all out one at a time. All the pieces are ironed. Now it's time to set up the block. It's all set up, and now we're ready to take it to the sewing machine. I separated all the pieces just because I'm going to be pinning some of them, so I don't want to get caught in any of the pins. So I'm just going to continue, and I'm going to chain piece them again, but when I get to the part where I need to pin, so I start with that. Now I'm coming here, and I'm matching them up. And I'm putting a pin right after the seam so that I can sew over the seam. Without it moving. I'm over the seam, and now I can just continue. Same thing here. Match these. This is on the other side, so the pin I'll put here, which is the same side. It's through most of the bulk here. The other time it was through the thin part. Okay, I'm over the seam, remove my pin, and finish. And here we have no matching seams. The two halves are done, and now it's time to do the final seam. I'm going to, once again, be careful how I match up the top seam. Of the Drunkard's Path. And the bottom seam of the Drunkard's Path. And there you have it. All my seams look really pretty. Final press and then we're done. The Around the World block is now done. I hope I made curve piecing a little bit easier for you. If you found this video useful, please click on the like button down below. And if you'd like to see more videos in the Quilt Along, please click on the playlist right over here. All right, thank you so much.